Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Yo, Hare Krishna. Hello, Shushomita. Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hello, Madhu. Govinda. Whoa. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Yep, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Oh no, Hare Krishna. I don't know if I can get it together here. It's Hare Krishna. I feel like I'm on the electric chair being electrocuted, and maybe I'm supposed to like share what I'm experiencing. Do you have any realizations? Like I'm sitting on the electric chair. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama. All circuits on overload. Overload. Just can't process it. Never mind find the words. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. This is so funny. I can try. This is kind of like maybe, it can kind of illuminate the state that I'm in now for the last little while. I dropped Sachi off at the gym. She wanted to take a yoga class. So I dropped her off. And I stopped at the gas station to get some gas. And then I noticed that I wear my japa beads. They had gotten all entangled inside my neck beads. And I was like, couldn't do it myself, So I approached one of the ladies that works there at the gas station in the little quick market. And I said, can you help me? And she took a look at the situation and she said, I'll try. So, there she is, like trying to disentangle my japa beads from my neck beads. I felt like it was like she was doing it so nicely. It's like she was dressing a deity, And I'm like, oh my God, Krishna's doing something to this poor woman and using me. And she was doing it so carefully and it was like she was dressing a deity, It was like Krishna was using me to give her that experience. Everybody around here knows, because it's a huge devotee community. So she knows it's Hare Krishna, right? and she's getting to fix the japa beads and the neck beads. And she was such a sweet lady, you know. Just gave her a big hug, and she had a big smile, you know. So that's kind of like where it's at, you know. All these things are happening like that, and it's pretty rich, you know. It's like really rich. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And that's why I like to hear from Srila Gaura Haridas, because he's got the storehouse, he's got the riches, and he's breaking it open and just flinging it everywhere. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Boy, and it's like, you know, it's taking its toll. I'm like worn out from all of this going on here. Krishna, Hare Krishna, and it's like I can't get away from it, you know. Get away from it. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. And I'm thinking, I'd like a little break, you know. Could I just, you know, take a break? I could just take a little nap in the mode of ignorance for a little while. I'm kind of like overwhelmed with all of this. It just won't let me do it. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Forcing me to stay awake. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Oh my God. Oh, gee. Jesus. Krishna. Ah! Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Whoa! Shoo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Oh man, it's just a lot going on. There's just so many devotees here in this area. It's just the interactions, it's like Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Let's see, what do we have planned for today? We're going to visit another devotee. I don't know if her husband will be home or not, but she'll be home during the day. She's pretty far out devotee. I wouldn't say she was on the path of Vaidhi Bhakti, but she may not have the other path completely opened up yet. She's a musician and she likes to write children's books, and she's done some coloring books for children. A sweet lady, she's sweet. A little scattered and has trouble with getting rid of things, like her house has got a lot of stuff in it. She accumulates. But we're going to go over there later. And then, what's tonight? Tuesday? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. I don't know, we'll figure out something. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna. It's like our personalities, Sachi and I together for this week, and our personalities are so different. I'm like very mechanical and methodical, and you know, I'm like do things, build things, make things, and Sachi's like whatever it is, she has to like love it. You know, a cat, a bird, a spider. You know, she has to feed it and nourish it and tell her that everything's okay and that, you know, she's come to save them. And it's like, oh boy. So it's interesting because she has a lot of qualities, and her temperament is very different from mine. It makes it interesting, but it's also very challenging. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. It's a little difficult to discuss also, because you put all your defenses up, but we're working on it, and is a possibility, to actually try to serve nicely, in kind of like work together a little bit for pushing on, as we're hearing from Srila Gaura Haridas. So we'll see. Yes or no, maybe, I don't know. So we just, taking it moment by moment here. So, reading the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it comes out in association. That's when the stuff comes out. Alone and reading and chanting, it's very smooth. But in association, that's when it cranks up. That's when the fires start. It starts heating up. Like a nuclear reactor. The nuclear material is just sitting there kind of peacefully, and then once it starts bumping into each other, and then it just goes, until the whole thing is like an explosion. It's the Hare Krishna movement. It's like a nuclear reactor. Hare Krishna, it's heating up. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare. When you have that catalyst, who's that catalyst? The person carrying the pure message. That person is a catalyst. And like in a nuclear reactor, all you need is one, and it gets everything going. So, Hare Krishna, we know we have one. We know we have one. And that is enough to get everything going. Like a nuclear reactor. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare. These material sciences in the gross matter, they have their corresponding counterparts in the subtle sciences, and then from there in spiritual science. So it's correlates. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. So this section of Chaitanya Charitamrita, this is the little summary before going into the actual verses. It gives you an idea of what's in the chapter, and it's pretty technical stuff. The title of the chapter is The Glories of Nityānanda Balarāma? Yeah, Nityānanda Balarāma. And what we notice that Krishnadas Kaviraj does is he establishes very firmly the divinity. First, he established that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he did that by sharing his own revelations, his own realizations, and backing them up that it's supported in the scripture. And then he established that Lord Chaitanya is Krishna, and he established that from his own realizations and then with the scripture. And now he's going to establish the divinity of Nityānanda Balarāma, who he is in relationship to Krishna. And he's going to be quoting different verses from different places and going eventually into the ecstatic form of the Lord. But first he lays the foundation to establish who Nityānanda Balarāma actually is. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So that's a pattern we see with the movement itself. It correlates. Srila Prabhupada laying the foundation to establish that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then to go from there into the being able to enter into the ecstatic, loving relationship with Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. And that comes through a person that's empowered by Krishna to take it to that next level. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The catalyst takes the catalyst. The pure devotee spiritual master is the catalyst. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, so we read part of the little summary. We'll continue reading on to establish who Nityānanda Balarāma is. Okay, as the source of the material elements, the material energy is known as pradhan. And as the source of the manifestations of material energy, it is known as maya. Yeah, it's pretty technical stuff. So, as the source of the elements themselves, the energy is known as pradhan. That's the source of the elements. As the source of the manifestations of the material energy is known as maya. So that's when those material elements take their forms. They're illusory forms. The illusory energy, material energy, is known as pradhan. That's the basic energy, the building blocks. The earth, the water, the fire, the air, the ether, the mind, the intelligence. False ego. Now when they take their forms, and they're formed into illusory shapes, that's maya. Okay, next sentence. But the material nature is inert, is that she has no independent power to do anything. So this material nature, this material energy, is in a female relationship to Krishna. She has no power of her own. She's not like the Shaktis, the Shakti energy. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. She's inert. She is empowered to make the cosmic manifestation by the glance of Mahavishnu. The glance of Mahavishnu empowers her to make the manifestation, the illusory forms. Therefore, the material energy is not the original cause of the material manifestation. Rather, the transcendental glance of Mahavishnu over material nature produces the cosmic manifestation. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Okay, next paragraph. Mahavishnu again enters every universe as the reservoir of all living entities, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. This has been discussed before, how these, they're supersoul forms. Mahavishnu is the giant supersoul of the entire material creation. This was discussed earlier. The pradhana, the whole thing, all the universes, all the material energy. Mahavishnu is the expansion of the supersoul. Purusha avatar is the supersoul. Krishna expands as the supersoul of the entire material energy. And then that supersoul expands into each universe, which emanates from him, from the pores of his body. These little universes come out. And then that supersoul expands again as the supersoul of each individual universe. Krishna. Okay, from Garbhodakshaya Vishnu expands Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, the supersoul of every living entity. So that's how it goes. Supersoul of the material creation, supersoul within each universe, and then the supersoul of each living entity. Now, talking about Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, the supersoul of each little universe, or big universe, or each universe, Garbhodakshai Vishnu also has his own Vaikuntha planet in every universe where he lives as the Supersoul or Supreme Controller of the universe. Garbhodakshai Vishnu reclines in the midst of the watery portion of the universe and generates the first living creature of the universe, Brahma. The imaginary universal form is a partial manifestation of Garbhodakshai Vishnu. It's technical stuff here. In the Vaikuntha planet, in every universe, is an ocean of milk. And within that ocean is an island called Svetadvip, where Lord Vishnu lives. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And just keep reading. Therefore, this chapter describes two Svetadvips. I was wondering about that. One in the abode of Krishna, and the other in the ocean of milk in every universe. The Svetadvip in the abode of Krishna is identical with Vrindavan Dham, which is the place where Krishna appears himself to display his loving pastimes. In the Svetadvip within every universe is a Sesha form of Godhead who serves Vishnu by assuming the form of his umbrella, slippers, couch, pillows, garments, residence, sacred thread, throne, and so on. Lord Baladev in Krishna Loka is Nityānanda Prabhu. Therefore, Nityānanda Prabhu is the original Sankarshan and Maha Sankarshan, and his expansions as the Purushas in the universes are plenary expansions of Nityānanda Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay. Baladev in Krishna Loka is Nityānanda. Nityānanda, therefore, or Baladev, is the original Sankarshan. Maha Sankarshan and his expansions as the Purushas in the universes are plenary expansions of Nityānanda Prabhu. Hare Krishna. In this chapter, the author has described the history of his leaving home for a personal pilgrimage to Vrindavan and his achieving all success there. In this description it is revealed that the author's original paternal home and birthplace were in the district of Katwa in the village of Jamatapur, which is near Naihati. Krishnadas Kaviraj's brother invited Sri Miniketana Ramdas, a great devotee of Lord Nityānanda, to his home. But a priest named Gurnanava Mishra did not receive him well. Krishnadas Kaviraj's brother, not recognizing the glories of Lord Nityānanda, also took sides with the priest. Therefore Ramdas became sorry, broke his flute, went away. This was a great disaster for the brother of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. But on that very night, Lord Nityānanda Prabhu himself graced Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in a dream and ordered him to leave on the next day for Vrindavan. So that's what this chapter is about. It's going to be discussing these things. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Glories to my spiritual master, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and my dear spiritual guide and friend, Srila Haridas, Avadut Maharaj, ecstatic, transcendental, pure devotee. Text 1. Let me offer my obeisances. I wouldn't really even be able to approach these books very nicely. I mean, I've read Chaitanya Charitamrita, by myself a couple times from cover to cover. It was nice. It was always good. And then also I read with another devotee. We used to meet regularly, and we read the whole Chaitanya Charitamrita, and that was okay, but not anything like this. Since Srila Haridas has suggested that I read, and by me hearing from him, and now approaching the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's a whole different story. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, as they say. Hooray. All right. Text 1. This is Krishnadas Kaviraj. He says, let me offer my obeisances to Lord Nityānanda, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose opulence is wonderful and unlimited. By his will, even a fool can understand his identity. Okay, I want to look at the first verse in the previous chapter. Let me look at the first verse in chapter 4, the confidential reasons for Lord Chaitanya's appearance. Okay? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna. No, I guess it wasn't that. Yeah, no, it was. The first verse from chapter 4, the confidential reasons for Lord Chaitanya's appearance, reads, by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even a foolish child can fully describe the real nature of Lord Krishna, the enjoyer of pastimes of Raj, according to the vision of the revealed scriptures. And then the first verse in chapter 5, which is going to be introducing us to Lord Nityānanda, reads, let me offer my obeisances to Lord Nityānanda, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose opulence is wonderful and unlimited. By his will, even a fool can understand his identity. Hare Krishna. All glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all glories to Lord Nityānanda, all glories to Advaita Acharya, and all glories to all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I have described the glory of Sri Krishna Chaitanya in 6 verses. Now, in 5 verses, I shall describe the glory of Lord Nityānanda. In the previous chapters, he gave 6 basic verses describing the glory of Lord Chaitanya, and then he expanded on each of those verses, wrote several verses about them and supported them with scripture, and took them one by one. So he's saying here, in 5 verses, he's going to describe the glory of Lord Nityānanda, and then we understand he's going to be expanding out on those verses. So here come the 5 verses. Krishnadas Kaviraj says, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is the fountainhead of all incarnations. Lord Balarāma is his second body. It's a short purport. Prabhupada says, Lord Sri Krishna, the Absolute Personality of Godhead, is the primeval Lord. the original form of Godhead. And his first expansion is Sri Balarāma. The personality of Godhead can expand himself in innumerable forms. The forms have unlimited potency are called swamsa, and forms that have limited potencies, the living entities, are called vibhinamsa. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. He can expand, she can designate qualities and have that form that has those qualities. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. The full, all the qualities and all the other expansions are contained within Krishna, the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. But he has the potency to expand and designate what qualities are going to be in that form for a specific purpose. Here it's explained, Prabhupada reads purport again. Lord Sri Krishna, the absolute Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the primeval Lord, the original form of Godhead. And his first expansion is Sri Balarāma. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. The personality of Godhead can expand himself in innumerable forms. The forms that have unlimited potency are called svamsa, and the forms that have limited potencies, the living entities, are called vibhinamsa. They are both one and the same identity, Krishna and Balarāma. Krishna and Balarāma. They differ only in form. He is the first bodily expansion of Krishna, and he assists Lord Krishna's transcendental pastimes. They differ only in form, which means not in potency, but in form. They are both one and the same identity. They differ only in form. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. And what is that form? That is the form of bliss. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, which is connected to taste. They differ only in taste, in form. He is the first bodily expansion of Krishna, and he assists at Lord Krishna's transcendental pastimes. Prabhupada's short purport. Balarāma is a swamsa expansion of the Lord, and therefore there is no difference in potency between Krishna and Balarāma. There's no difference in potency. The only difference is their bodily structure. It's not a material body. Lord Krishna's body is made of Satchidananda, and then you get the Vigraha, the form. Eternal, full of all awareness, all conscious, and blissful. So the only difference is the bliss between of the two. As the first expansion of Godhead, Balarāma is the chief deity among the first quadruple forms, and he is the foremost assistant of Lord Krishna in his transcendental activities. So Krishna is experiencing himself just like when he wants to experience himself in the mood of Radharani. He appears in her position. When he wants to experience himself as being the foremost assistant of himself, he's expanded as Balarāma. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. He's the foremost, Balarāma is the foremost assistant of Sri Krishna in his transcendental activities. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. He is Krishna, acting as his foremost assistant of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. That original Lord Krishna appeared in Navadvip as Lord Chaitanya, and Balarāma appeared with him as Lord Nityānanda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Text 7. May Sri Nityānanda Ram be the object of my constant remembrance. Shankashan, Seshanag, and the Vishnus who lie on the Karana ocean, Garbha ocean, an ocean of milk, are his plenary portions and the portions of his plenary portions. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. You can be sure within the next verse or two, Krishnadas is going to give us some quotes from somewhere, Bhagavatam or some Purana or something, to support all of this. Because right now it's just him speaking. So Krishnadas Kaviraj, from his own realizations, he's saying, may Sri Nityānanda Ram be the object of my constant remembrance. Now there's different ways to have constant remembrance of Krishna or Nityānanda. One way is like Kamsa did. He was constantly remembering Vishnu or Krishna. He was fixed, but he was inimical, and he was thinking of Krishna constantly because he had emotions that came from fear and hate and anger. So those emotions propelled him to constantly remember Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. That's one way. Actually, Narada Muni prays that he wishes in his devotional mood of remembering Krishna, he had as much intensity as someone like Kamsa has for remembering Krishna. He wished he had that intensity of love that Kamsa had in fear and anger and hatred. He wishes he had that same intensity in his mood of love of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So may Sri Nityānanda Ram be the object of my constant remembrance. That really, constant remembrance can really only be done when there's love. Because then everything reminds the devotee of the object of their love. Everything reminds them of them, so then they remain in constant remembrance. There isn't anything that isn't connected to them. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Kamsa was experiencing it in fear. Everything was reminding him of Krishna, whom he saw as death personified. So he was in total anxiety and fear and like that. And in that way, he was constantly remembering Krishna. Everything was reminding him of his doom. Krishna, 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 Krishna. Sankishan, Seshanag, and the Vishnus who lie on the Karana ocean, Garbha ocean, an ocean of milk, are his plenary portions and the portions of his plenary portions. And that was just discussed, how Balarāma is this first expansion, and then Nityānanda is Balarāma. So Nityānanda is Sankirtan, who is providing the resting place for Mahavishnu while he's lying on the causal ocean. That's Nityānanda. And he's Seshanag, who's in the Garbha ocean, providing the resting place for Lord Vishnu. And he's also Vishnus that are Vishnu forms who are in this ocean of milk, providing the resting place for Vishnu. His plenary portions, plenary is an interesting word. I've heard people stumble over that word. They try to plenary. Seems to be a difficult word for some people. It's just plenary, and it means complete. Let me look it up. It's a difficult word. It's not something people use in everyday language. I think sometimes they use it in legal terms, when they're doing legal things. Okay. The first definition is plenary means unqualified and absolute. And then some of the synonyms are unlimited, unrestricted, absolute, sweeping, comprehensive, which means contains everything. Yeah. Yeah, and then the second meaning is, it's interesting too. It refers to a meeting that's attended by all participants who otherwise meet in smaller groups. That's kind of interesting. And that is the political or the government form. Everyone is required to. So it contains everything. Everything's contained. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So, his plenary portions and the portions of his plenary portions. So these Sankarshan, Seshanag, and the Vishnus, those Purusha avatars lying on the ocean of milk and the Karana ocean and the Garbha ocean, and they are plenary portions and portions of his plenary portions. One sentence purport here by Prabhupada. Sri Swarup Damodar Goswami has recorded this verse in his diary to offer respectful obeisances to Lord Nityānanda. This verse also appears as the 7th of the 14 verses of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Next text, and this is Krishnadas Kaviraj continuing. Lord Balaram is the original Sankarshan. He assumes 5 other forms to serve Lord Krishna. Lord Balaram is the original Sankarshan. He assumes 5 other forms to serve Lord Krishna. Lord Balaram is Krishna, who expands in this form as Balaram in order to expand again into 5 other forms in order to serve Krishna. Okay, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna expanding all of this out. Krishnadas Kaviraj continues, he himself, Nityānanda, helps in the pastimes of Lord Krishna and does the work of creation in 4 other forms. I wonder where this is going. Let's see. Number 5 is tantalizing here. Let's see. Next verse. He executes the orders of Lord Krishna in the work of creation. And in the form of Lord Sesha, he serves Krishna in various ways. Okay, so, all right. Here's the 5 forms. Prabhupada's going to describe them. The verse again. He executes the order of Lord Krishna in the work of creation. And in the form of Lord Sesha, he serves Krishna in various ways. Prabhupada's purport. According to expert opinion, Balaram, as the chief of the original quadruple forms, is also the original Sankarshan. Hare Krishna, Hare, his relationship is to serve Krishna in his pastimes. Balaram, the first expansion of Krishna, expands himself in 5 forms. First, Maha Sankarshan. Second, oh boy, Karana Dishayi. Number 3, Garbhodakshayi. Number 4, Shirodakshayi. Number 5, Sesha. Okay, these are the Purushas. These 5 plenary portions are responsible for both the spiritual and material cosmic manifestations. These 5 plenary portions are responsible for both the spiritual and material cosmic manifestations. Hare Krishna. In these 5 forms, Lord Balarāma assists Lord Krishna in his activities. The first 4 of these forms are responsible for the cosmic manifestation, whereas, as the Purushas, whereas Sesha is responsible for the personal service to the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Sesha is called Ananta, or unlimited, because he assists the personality of Godhead in his unlimited expansions by performing an unlimited variety of services. Shri Balarāma is the servitor of Godhead who serves Lord Krishna in all affairs of existence and knowledge. Lord Nityānanda Prabhu, who is the same servitor Godhead, Balarāma, performs the same service to Lord Gauranga by constant association. He is responsible for personal service to the Lord. He assists the personality of Godhead in his unlimited expansions by performing an unlimited variety of services. Balarāma is the servitor Godhead. That's why I say the spiritual master is a servitor. Servitor Godhead. Shri Balarāma, so the spiritual master is the manifestation of Lord Balarāma, or Lord Nityānanda. Spiritual master is the manifestation of Lord Nityānanda. Shri Balarāma is the servitor Godhead who serves Krishna in all affairs of existence and knowledge. Lord Nityānanda Prabhu, who is the same servitor Godhead, Balarāma, performs the same service to Lord Gauranga by constant association. In all the forms, he tastes the transcendental bliss of serving Krishna. That same Balarāma is Lord Nityānanda, the companion of Lord Gaurasundar. And Krishnadas Kaviraj continues, I have explained this 7th verse in 4 subsequent verses. By these verses, all the world can know the truth about Lord Nityānanda. He's going to give us these verses. 5:13. And this is a verse from Swarup Damodar's diary. And it is the 8th of the first 14 verses of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Okay, it reads, I surrender unto the lotus feet of Sri Nityānanda Ram, who is known as Sankarshan, in the midst of the Chaturvyuha consisting of Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. He possesses full opulences and resides in Vaikuntha Loka, far beyond the material creation. So that's from Swarup Damodar's diary. He's a personal secretary of Lord Chaitanya. Text 14. Beyond the this is Krishnadas Kaviraj. Beyond the material nature lies the realm known as Paravyoma, the spiritual sky. Like Lord Krishna himself, it possesses all transcendental attributes such as the 6 opulences. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Ooh, there's a big purport here. Read the verse again. Beyond the material nature lies the realm known as Paravyoma, the spiritual sky. Like Lord Krishna himself, it possesses all transcendental attributes such as the 6 opulences. Prabhupada's purport. According to Sankhya philosophy, the material cosmos is composed of 24 elements. The 5 gross material elements, the 3 subtle material elements, the 5 knowledge-acquiring senses, the 5 active senses, the 5 objects of sense pleasure, and the Mahatattva, the total material energy. Empiric philosophers, unable to go beyond these elements, speculate that anything beyond them must be avyakta, or inexplicable. But the world beyond the 24 elements is not inexplicable, for it is explained in the Bhagavad Gita as the eternal, Sanatana nature. Beyond the manifested and unmanifested existence of material nature, Vyakta Vyakta is the Sanatana nature, which is called the Paravyoma, or the spiritual sky. Since that nature is spiritual in quality, there are no qualitative differences there. Everything there is spiritual, everything is good, and everything possesses the spiritual form of Sri Krishna himself. That spiritual sky is the manifested internal potency of Sri Krishna. It is distinct from the material sky manifested by his external potency. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, so yesterday, Sachi and I attended a reading of Srimad Bhagavatam in one of the devotees' homes. It was in the afternoon. It was just the ladies, senior disciples, older. And they're not really reciting the Sanskrit in any recognizable way, but they're trying. They're reciting the verses in, one person will read the verse, they'll all chant the verse in Sanskrit as best they can. And then the one person, they take turns. Then one person reads the verse in English, and then the other devotees who are assembled there, they all read together. And then the person that read the verse reads the purport, and if someone has something to say, they can speak up at any time. Well, I was mostly in hearing mode while I was there. I was just trying to hear. And it was very interesting that the original sound vibration was coming out of the Bhagavatam, and these persons were trying to approach that sound vibration, but it was like an echo. It was like an echo. The original vibration was there, but their chanting was like an echo. It was just echoing. And sometimes if you're in somewhere and you hear the echoes bouncing every which way, you drop something and it'll echo, 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 it'll go all different which ways. That's what I was hearing. It was just echoes. The original sound vibration wasn't actually coming out, but there were a lot of echoes. Hare Krishna. You know how everyone's eco-friendly these days? So, remain eco-friendly. But it was like an echo, and it was really phenomenal sitting there hearing all these echoes, but not actually hearing the original vibration. Because I've been trained, I know what to hear for. I know how to hear that when that original vibration is there, I know what it sounds like. I know what it sounds like. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare. Because of that, also when I'm speaking, I'm more in tune with that original vibration, because I've been tuned, fine-tuned. And I didn't hear that vibration coming out, I just heard echoes. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And that's why I like, time for an ad, that's why I like to hear from Srila Gaura Haridas. Because that original vibration is coming out there. It's not an echo. Hare Krishna, it's not just like a sound vibration bouncing off of something. You know? You make a sound, it goes out, and like bats are like that. They use sonar, because they can't see, and they're out at night, so they send out signals to bounce off of things so they can maneuver around out there. But it's just signals bouncing off of things. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So when the original vibration is there, it's not just a sound vibration that bounced off of something inert. The original vibration is actually coming out. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. It means to be like a via media for these messages of Godhead. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And how do you get tuned up? You have to hear. Have to hear from someone who is in tune, and then you get tuned. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, so the spiritual sky is the manifested internal potency of Sri Krishna. That's the original vibration. It is distinct from the material sky manifested by his external potency. Those are the echoes. Hare Krishna, because we read that material energy is inert. Hare Krishna, has no potency of their own, so it's going to be bouncing off of that illusory energy, not going to be emanating. The illusory energy is not going to be emanating the pure vibration, but it can echo it, reflect it, so it has that illusory quality. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Okay, next paragraph. The all-pervading Brahman, the impersonal glowing ray of Sri Krishna, exists in the spiritual world with the Vaikuntha planets. We can get some idea of that spiritual sky by a comparison to the material sky. For the rays of the sun in the material sky can be compared to the Brahma Jyoti, the glowing rays of the personality, Godhead. There's correlations. Things that we see around us, they correlate to the forms that are on the subtle plane, and then also to the forms in the transcendental plane. They correlate. They're just being experienced through different medium. In the Brahma Jyoti, there are, in the spiritual world, there's nothing to be, it's absolute. It is what it is. There's nothing being reflected off of anything. That's what everything is correlated to, is the pure spiritual forms. And when they're mixed with these other types of energies, then they take on that illusory quality, reflective, illusory kind of thing. Okay, that. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Okay. We can get some idea of that spiritual sky by a comparison to the material sky. For the rays of the sun in the material sky can be compared to the Brahma Jyoti, the glowing rays of the personality of Godhead. In the Brahma Jyoti, there are unlimited Vaikuntha planets, which are spiritual, and therefore self-luminous. See, there's that thing. They're not reflecting something. They're self-luminous. Everything in the spiritual atmosphere is self-luminous. It's not reflecting something to look like something. It's self-luminous, with a glow many times greater than that of the sun. The personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, his innumerable plenary portions, and the portions of his plenary portions dominate each Vaikuntha planet. In the highest region of the spiritual sky is the planet called Krishnaloka, which has 3 divisions: Dwarka, Mathura, and Goloka. So that's how that works. The Krishnaloka, Dwarka, I was always wondering about that, and now here it is clearly explained. Dwarka, Mathura, and Goloka are not Vaikuntha planets. They're actually divisions within Krishnaloka. They're not Vaikuntha, they're not the Vaikunthas. They're actually pastime residences, Krishna's pastime residences. Dwarka, Mathura, and Goloka. They're all Krishnaloka. The Vaikuntha planets are something else. There's 4-armed Vishnu. Yeah, that really helps. Hare Krishna, to try to understand some of this. To a gross materialist, this kingdom of God, Vaikuntha, is certainly a mystery. Okay, so in one sense, yeah, Krishnaloka is a Vaikuntha planet, but the way it's distinctive is it's the highest planet in the so it is a Vaikuntha planet, but it's the highest. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Because that's where the pastimes, Krishna's intimate pastimes, take place. Okay, here we go. To a gross material, this kingdom of God, Vaikuntha, which includes the Vaikuntha planets and the Krishnaloka, the highest Vaikuntha planet, is certainly a mystery. But to an ignorant man, everything is a mystery for want of sufficient knowledge. The kingdom of God is not a myth. Even the material planets, which float over our heads in the millions and billions, are still a mystery to the ignorant. Material scientists are now attempting to penetrate this mystery. A day will come when people of this earth will be able to travel in outer space and see the variegatedness of these millions of planets with their own eyes. In every planet, there is as much material variegatedness as we find in our own planet. Wow. So they will be able to do that, Prabhupada said. Material scientists are now attempting to penetrate the mystery, and a day, he says, may come, okay? This is possible. And a day may come when the people of this earth will be able to travel in outer space and see the variegatedness of these millions of planets with their own eyes. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This planet Earth is but an insignificant spot in the cosmic structure. Yet, foolish men, puffed up by a false sense of scientific advancement, have concentrated their energy in a pursuit of so-called economic development on this planet, not knowing of the variegated economic facilities available on other planets. Oh good, let's go there and exploit everything they have and make a big mess like we did here. According to modern astronomy, Prabhupada's very tactful. According to modern astronomy, the gravity of the moon is different from that of Earth. Therefore, one who goes to the moon will be able to pick up large weights and jump vast distances. In the Ramayana, Hanuman is described as being able to lift huge weights as heavy as hills and jump over the ocean. Modern astronomy has confirmed that this is indeed possible. The disease of the modern civilized man is his disbelief of everything in the revealed scriptures. Faithless, non-believers cannot make progress in spiritual realization, for they cannot understand the spiritual potency. The small fruit of a banyan contains hundreds of seeds, and in each seed is the potency to produce another banyan tree with the potency to produce millions more of such fruits. This law of nature is visible before us, although how it works is beyond our understanding. This is but an insignificant example of the potency of Godhead. There are many similar phenomena that no scientist can explain. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Everything, in fact, is inconceivable. Hold on. Everything, in fact, is inconceivable. Everything is inconceivable. Both material and spirit, it's all inconceivable. Brahma just showed that. For the truth is revealed only to the proper persons. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Although there are varieties of personalities from Brahma down to these... In that previous paragraph, Prabhupada's talking about the faithless non-believers. Now sometimes, see, a lot of things are hidden in these verses. Sometimes when, he also gave this little example of how to instruct someone when it's a delicate situation, when the relationship isn't very, very strong on a personal level, and you need to instruct a person. The way it's done is, the example is like this. The mother-in-law wants to instruct the daughter-in-law, but it's kind of a touchy, a little delicate kind of relationship. It's not the same kind of relationship that the mother has with her own daughter, whom she could chastise her or speak harshly if she needed to her own daughter, and it wouldn't be a problem. But to speak to her son's wife that way would be very difficult. It could cause a big problem. She doesn't have that kind of an intimate relationship. She's a daughter-in-law, and it's a little delicate. So the way it's done is the mother will chastise her own daughter so that the daughter-in-law can hear, and in that way get the message across. So Prabhupada's preaching sometimes is like that. Here, Prabhupada is talking about the faithless non-believers cannot make progress in spiritual realization, for they cannot understand the spiritual potency. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. So that's like the father or the mother chastising the daughter in front of the daughter-in-law. They cannot understand the spiritual potency. That's the message here. And the devotee, the disciple, is like the daughter-in-law and is reading this and sees, oh, that's the problem why these materialists can't make any advancement is because they don't believe everything in the revealed scriptures, and they can't make progress because they don't understand the spiritual potency. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. That's a way to instruct the disciples. It's not just about the non-devotees. It's actually about the disciples. That the important thing is that you understand the spiritual potency. That's the message, Hare Krishna, to the disciples. By speaking about them out there, those guys, the faithless non-believers don't understand the spiritual potency. No, the disciples don't understand the spiritual potency. And the message is, that's why you can't make any progress till you actually get that mercy of coming in contact with the actual spiritual potency and being transformed by it. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Yeah, it's interesting. Prabhupada gives the example of the banyan tree. Each fruit has so many hundreds of seeds, and each seed can produce a tree that has so many more fruits. And Prabhupada says, this law of nature, visible before us, although how it works is beyond our understanding. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. This is an external example of a principle that carries over into the devotional, making progress in the devotional path. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. This is an insignificant example of the potency of Godhead. Yeah, it's just the tip of the iceberg. It's an insignificant example of the potency of Godhead. Bhakti potency. Okay, there are many similar phenomena that no scientist can explain, and that also shows the limitation of trying to understand these things simply by our mind and our rational thinking and our experimentation and our speculation. Hare Krishna, theorizing. Hare, okay. That's not the science. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, oh my God. Hare Krishna, here it comes. See, I didn't see this next paragraph, but I tell you, I am so right on. I'm like really right on. And that's why I like to hear from Srila Gaura Haridas. He's the fine tuner. So here's the next verse. After discussing that, Prabhupada says, everything in fact is inconceivable, for the truth is revealed only to the proper persons. Although there are varieties of personalities, from Brahma down to the insignificant ant, all of whom are living beings, their development of knowledge is different. Therefore, we have to gather knowledge from the right source. Indeed, in reality, we can get knowledge only from the Vedic sources. The four Vedas with their supplementary Puranas, the Mahabharata, Ramayana, and their corollaries, which are known as Smritis, are all authorized sources of knowledge. If we are at all to gather knowledge, we must gather it from these sources without hesitation. And Prabhupada is leading people on to the path, on to the path, on to the path. Get in the right atmosphere here. Next paragraph. Oh yeah, see, here he goes. He's going to take us there. He's going to take us there. He's taking us to what? The conclusive truth. His Prabhupada's taking us there so that we can recognize when the conclusive truth is being presented. Hare Krishna. Next paragraph. Poof. Revealed knowledge may in the beginning be unbelievable because of our paradoxical desire to verify everything with our tiny brains. But the speculative means of attaining knowledge is always imperfect. The perfect knowledge propounded in the revealed scriptures is confirmed by great acharyas who have left ample commentations upon them. That's what our scriptures are. None of these acharyas has disbelieved in the Shastras. One who disbelieves in the Shastras is an atheist, and we should not consult an atheist, however great he may be. A staunch believer in the Shastras, with all their diversities, is the right person from whom to gather real knowledge. Such knowledge may seem inconceivable in the beginning, but when put forward by the proper authority, its meaning is revealed, and then one no longer has any doubts about it. Jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hey, Haribol, Haribol, Haribol. Whoa! All right, so we're going to find out more as we go along by hearing from the right authorities, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and the fine tuner, Srila Gaura Haridas, the one with the tuning fork. Bing! Hare Krishna! Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. All right, so that's it. Govinda. Wore out. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Who's this? Yamuna. This is so astonishing. It's like listening to a sci-fi novel. The truth is stranger than fiction. And more than that, it's like living in a sci-fi. Like living in a sci-fi. Hare Krishna! Whoa! Govinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Sachi. Hey Bo. Hey Bo, Mina. Yay! Gentle soul. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. All right, here we go. Govinda.